I'm a little late. I'm a minute late to streaming. What's going on here? Welcome. Hello. 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 It's not Friday. It is Tuesday. And yeah, I always get this sound alert thing. I got to remember how to turn the sound alerts browser sources offline thing. I bet somebody could help me with that, but I have not done that yet. So, anywho, welcome. We have a couple of things on tap. It's going to be kind of, maybe it's a short and sweet episode. I don't know until I get started. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't really feel like it, and I'm only going to do like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's like 3 hours later. So, but we are actually streaming. I don't have any viewers yet. What are you going to do today? We're going to be doing two things today, and I'm trying to think what they are. Oh yes, we have loads of stuff to fuse. So let me show you what's on the workbench. Yeah, it's not much of a, look at all these pieces that we're going to fuse today using the acetylene torch. So that's going to be the kind of the goal of the day. And when that is finished, that will be the stream. So nothing fancy, but I need to get, I've had these, I'm trying to build up my inventory basically. And because I love doing big projects and I've got another big project on the pipeline, I need to get some earrings in the bag because quite literally, besides trying to make a living at this is always a challenge. And besides the Vimeo, selling earrings is kind of like my bread and butter. It's like the thing that actually makes this all possible. So let me go back to the selfie cam. But before we do that, I apologize if it looks a bit janky because I only thought of it quite literally 8 minutes ago. I'm like, oh, I should totally share what I'm working on for my enamel art jam project, which is going to be a little lidded vessel. And over the weekend, I had thought I was going to be doing it in Fusion. I like a CAD-based program. My husband works, he does 3D modeling for video games and all of that. And he works in, what's it called? Blender. And I just couldn't get the hang of it. I didn't like it. Oh, hey, Tamsin Mac, just subscribe. Welcome, Tamsin Mac, to the stream. Anyway, we're going to start with an actual thing that fits. I feel like this is like right up Twitch alley. So anyway, I downloaded Fusion 360 a while back. It was a free 30-day thing. And I liked it. I thought it was really intuitive. But then I went to buy it and the sale was over, and it's like $650 per year. I had missed the per year portion, and I just was like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't think so. But not that I'm doing anything free. But anyway, so on Sunday morning, I downloaded Rhino because two reasons. Two people I know use Rhino. My friend, we were friends 150 years ago in Raleigh. Heath Sato, he does these big, enormous sculptures that are like 50 feet tall. He was using Rhino, I swear, back in the 90s. It was like just when 3D software. And then also my very good friend, and I'm looking forward to seeing her next week at the Enamel retreat that I'm going to, Amy Roper Lyons. She told me that she makes her vessels, those beautiful pique-à-jour vessels. She uses Rhino. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to download Rhino, see what's what, see if I like it. And you know what? I liked Rhino more than Fusion 360. I thought it was hugely intuitive. And good morning, Angie. I'm just blabbing about technology. So anyway, I spent the day and I made a model, and I've actually already sent this model to be cast. So hopefully, you know what? I'm just like, might as well see what happens. So I'm going to show you my model. So my thing that I'm not sure about is going to work is I've set up a new thing to share my screen, which is a new thing for me. So we're going to go to Rhino, the 3D modeling program. And here we are. And I can kind of Oh, I've got it open. Hold on, I actually have to switch to the window. Hold on, let me go to the computer screen. Oh, there it is. So there it is. And I'm going to show you because I'm actually going to have to see. I couldn't figure out how to use both things so I could see what's going on here. So I'm not going to be able to see anybody's comments. Not that it's a very chit-chatty group this morning, but that is fine. So here is Rhino. And no, it is not free and it is not inexpensive. Vilna, good morning. Good morning, Vilna. But it has a 90-day free trial period, which I feel is very generous. And it is like, it's expensive, but it's only one time. You only have to buy it one time, which in this world it seems good. So I'm going to actually go over to it. So here is the 3D program, and you can see I've made this lidded vessel, and there's kind of like 2 parts to it. It has, I'll show you each part, and it was actually so, I want to say, easy to build. I did a couple of tutorials on how to make a vase, and there's kind of 2 ways to create, round, basic round shapes. One is a loft form, and this is a revolve. So what I did was, I'm still learning how to use this thing. Let me go into this little guy. You can see I have the bottom portion. It's actually 3 portions. We've got the little feet, this thing, and then this top portion. And what I actually did, because I'm so much quicker in Illustrator, I actually just made this. I figured out the exact profile of exactly what I want with the 1 millimeter deep, dump, and then like a cutout here. And then I did the same with the lid. I did a 2D drawing of that. I wasn't able to quickly hook up Illustrator. I would show you that file. But, and then I just revolved it all the way around to create this vessel. And you can see there's 2 things. In the top, it's very small. I'm going to show you this. Remember this gemstone that I have? That's actually going to sit right in this hole here. Hopefully my measurements are good. We'll find out. So that's going to be the lid. And then here, this is all going to be enameled. I'm working on the design. And then the bottom portion, this is all going to be enameled here. And then, so actually that was pretty straightforward to make. You see, I've got them as separate pieces here. Oops. But the hard thing really was, and there's going to be enamel on the bottom, you can see, but making these 3 little feet, I actually did the 3 feet yesterday. I kind of figured it out on Sunday and it didn't quite look right, so I did it again. I love booleans. I love basically, I do everything with extrude and boolean. And so I made this shape, and then I just made an equidistant triangle, and then I erased this portion, whatever, and then I merged them together. And you can see on the inside, let me go ahead and scooch you out of the way. You get out of the way, mister. There we go. You can see the inside has a bit of a lip right here. So this is where the lid will come in. And then my biggest concern is what I'm going to do on the inside. And obviously, hold on, let me go to Shift, see the lid. You can see the lid on the inside as well. There'll be enamel here, I think. So let me Control Z that. Back and back up, Shift, zoom. So you can see, don't you love how this looks here too? You can do different options. Let me do just the shaded. You can see a little bit more of how simple this shape actually is. So anyway, that is the dealio. Let me show you, the last thing I'm going to show you is let me show you, I'm going to import, no, I'm not going to do it. Anyway, that's it. And so I've ordered it to be cast in sterling silver. Maybe in 2 weeks I shall get it. And there we go. So, oh, Susan says, good afternoon. Well, Susan, if you subscribe, you don't have to watch any advertisements. It's defaulting to the whatever the ads are. But that is all I'm going to say about that. So, well, the dimensions are, yeah, I mean, the dimensions are about like this big. I've got a small kiln, so it's not big at all. It's very tiny. I wanted to kind of keep it small, and I wasn't sure how expensive it was going to be to cast it in sterling silver. And I'm going to definitely recommend, if you're doing casting from 3D models. I'm also was thinking I might put some of my 3D models, if anyone's interested, especially in the bracelet, the 3D model of the bracelet, I might actually start selling some of those models that I've made. Not this one, this is whatever, because then you could just send that model and have it cast in, but that's something I'm still kind of thinking about. We'll see. You know, it's one more thing to do. So that is that. Let's go back to the selfie cam. But yeah, what I'm going to say is shop around for getting things cast, because those high glossy things, those really, the websites that kind of promise, you know, that you see on Facebook or whatever, they're like twice as expensive. And honestly, there's some casting places in the United States, that, especially New York City, that are good. But yeah, so yeah, I'm thinking about it, because I got the bracelet. I'm going to redo it, because the thing that I made the mistake, and I learned all about when you export it, you have to say how many different little triangles you want. And you want a lot of triangles, not a little bit of triangles. You want a million triangles. So that, yeah, we'll see what goes with that. So that was that. I'm going to go back to my full screen here. We've had fun with the 3D modeling. And yeah, now we're going to do the thing that we were always going to do today, which is fusing. That's today. So fusing, like I was saying, I got a lot going on in the next couple of weeks. I really want to, this year, because Christmas was a disaster for me, because yay, people bought earrings, but I was making them endlessly up until the last minute in December. So this is all Christmas earrings. That's when I do my best selling, is Christmas. So if I have a lot of earrings. And also next week I'm going to be at the enameling retreat next week, and I was thinking I was going to keep things simple on myself and actually maybe make some of these earrings next week, because there's going to be so much going on at the retreat that I don't want to do anything overly complicated. So anyway, so we've got all of these earrings that we're going to fuse. And I did this morning, you know, I've been busy. I'm a busy little bee. Let me switch my computer glasses for my work glasses. And what I've done is I've kind of prepped these out, and I saved one set, and I actually haven't. I meant to get them completely, the blue fuse completely on there, but I did not. So we actually have a little bit more work than I was hoping. I was hoping to just hop on in there, turn on the torch, and just blow these things to pieces. But no, we got some other things to do. So I'm actually going to move these out of the way. Let's just scooch this for now. Actually, I'm going to move this entire thing. There we go. Because we've got this pair. And yes, these, I know they look, oh, Sandra, did you saw these all out yourself? No, I did not saw these out. I had them laser cut, because you know what? New technologies, I am so on board, so I don't have to do, I can be the creative person maybe and just do the enameling. So, but these are all the leftovers, the last dregs of what I had laser cut, and I'm going to get them all fused today. And so we're going to kind of start here. And I've got a little bit of water that I was using. And yeah, I'm just going to quickly get this up to that, and then we'll start with that. So basically, this is how they come from the laser cutter. They look clean because I've got a wonderful laser guy. And I have these two pieces. This is all in 20 gauge fine silver. And then I have these little pieces, and I like to make them a little bigger than the piece. So if there's any melting, it's not going to affect the thing. So I a few times, if it's a pain in the butt shape, like this one, although I don't do this as much because this actually means you have to do double. It doesn't actually save that much time. I have these cut like this. So this was laser cut, and I just stick that on. I don't do that as much because I actually, when I'm sawing it out, it's almost a better thing than having to do all of the so much filing. So like with these, I didn't. I just am going to put them on. You'll see, you know, that. So that is what's what. And, you know, lately I've just been wearing gloves to do a lot of things, trying to save my hands a little bit. I don't really need the gloves to do these two little things, but whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to start by, I've just got my little, I think this is a 60 micron sanding discs. I see my foot thing is escaping. Don't you hate when your foot pedal is wandering off, like just about to fall off the edge? There we go. There we go. And I'm just going to use a little water. I use the water just really to keep the dust down. And I know I'm kind of over. Here, we could come over a little bit. Join me. Oh, can you? Hold on. There we go. Join me over here at the water station. Oop. But yeah, there are 3D programs that are free. So I'm just going to stick that right there. So you don't have to, but sometimes I really, really liked Rhino. I've tried a bunch of them in the last couple of weeks, and I liked the precision of it. And I think it's because it reminds me 100 years ago, I went to this for-profit school. It actually ended up really good because that's where I learned Photoshop and Illustrator and all of that stuff. It was back in the 90s. And I learned 3D Studio Max, thinking, oh, I'm going to be a 3D artist or something like that. I was not, but Rhino reminds me a little bit of kind of old school 3ds Max. So, and I always loved basically extruding and booleans. And the other thing I like about Rhino is you just type what you want to do into this little command line, like you just are like copy. If you know what it is, rotate. It's nice. Once I get better at it, maybe I'll do a tutorial, but I am not good at it. I can do 3 things. Well, in fact, but it's so much fun. And there's not enough days. And this is also to protect my fingers wearing these gloves, because last time I did this, I gave myself a nasty cut from this little disc. And I think I'm a little gun shy about it. There we go. All right, so we've got those little guys. I've got some nice paper towels. I'm going to dry them. So we've sanded them, which is the first thing. And then the other thing that we're going to do, which is basically what these are all done, is I'm going to use some isopropyl alcohol to clean them up. And I noticed that it's expired like last year. I'm sure it's still fine. Just a little bit of this, just to wipe them down. Clean them up. Dan Douglas is now following. Well, welcome, Dan. We are going to be fusing fine silver pieces today. I should show you where we're going. There we go. So we've got all our pieces right here. I'm going to put the isopropyl alcohol away, and I'm also going to get rid of the water, just trying to keep things tidy. And that's good. That is good. Oh, and we need our fusing liquid. Let me grab, really, I'm going to take the gloves off. The gloves are coming off because I can't grab things. There we go. There we go. Oh, and there's our fusing liquid. And we've got these. That's kind of nice. Yeah, so let me show you what we're creating because I have some bases already made. So these are bases ready for enamel. Oh crap, I forgot. Mental note. There we go. So this is what we're making today. And just remember, here's the other thing. We'll put the glass in there. This has not been ground and polished, but you can see that is, for those who are new and are thinking, what is this? This is all 20 gauge fine silver sheet. So we have gotten them all cleaned. These have all been sanded and cleaned with well, hello, Dan. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. There we go. So the next step is, this is totally optional, and it's going to take a while. Maybe I'll just do this, and I'll save those for later, because nobody wants to watch me do this for a million years. This is fusing liquid. It's optional. Everyone always bitches about the fusing liquid, but it is totally optional. It is basically 2 ingredients: cupric acetate, a reagent, just basically copper crystals. Look at that copper in there. You can't even see it, so it's very pretty, but we're not going to sniff it or anything. You can see I've had it for a long time. I bought this jar for $14 in the year 2007, and I still have about half of it, or at least a third of it left. So you don't need much. And the second ingredient is clear fire. So I have a video on my Vimeo channel on how to make it. I think I even probably have one on YouTube, but definitely on Vimeo. And anyway, this is basically a copper solution, and when you paint it on and we apply the heat, as we're going to do with the acetylene torch next, it will create what's known as a eutectic bond, and it will make all of it's basically like it kind of creates its own, anyway, it bonds it together, blah, blah, blah. I should have probably given myself a cheat sheet of like the eutectic bonding process. Let me clean off this brush. So we're going to just start over here, and I've mixed this up. I'm not sure which is better. They both look pretty fresh. It doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to paint. Ooh, I don't like this one. That's fine. Paint this on, and neatness counts, because if you get this everywhere, wherever this copper solution is, it's going to lower the melting temperature, and you could get some reticulation. So you want to be pretty tidy about it. And I'm just going to, I should have figured, there we go. Just going to set these just like that. There we go. Definitely. And that's basically, yeah, you're going to sit here while I do this. And if you don't want to make it yourself, you can, my friend Lillian Jones, she makes a product called Blue Fuse, and she sells it on Etsy. And you can buy basically this from my friend Lillian. If you just go to Etsy and do a search for Blue Fuse, you will find it. I can't imagine it's all that expensive. Making sure. Just trying to get, there's a lot of, for some reason, goop on my, that's better. Go. Does this one fit? There we go. Yeah, we'll just do this little tray. Nobody needs, see, that's a little bit too much right in there, but it'll be fine. And you know, it's funny, it's like, fusing is one of those things that it's hard. Like, you can watch a ton of video. I get a ton of emails. I've watched the video a million times. I can't do it. I cannot get it to fuse. And I guarantee you, I could spend 5 minutes in person with you in my studio, in your studio, whatever, with an acetylene torch. And I could teach you, and you'd totally get it in 5 minutes. You would just be like, oh, so simple. But there's just some, I think it's maybe, you have to, sometimes it's just easier to learn by someone just showing you what to look for while you're doing it. But we're going to fuse all of these, so maybe this will be helpful. Again, if you want real deep instruction about it, you can subscribe to my Vimeo channel. Oh, I'm doing 2 at a time. Oh, and if anyone was here on Friday when we were doing the, I don't have them over here, but those little samples with the opalescent. You know, I did a third coat and I didn't sift it. I mean, I didn't wash it at all, and it definitely had some opalescence. So I was way over washing. So all's well that ends well as far as that nonsense goes. I'm not liking that paper towel there. Anyway, so we're going to get all of these on here. And I've moved the kiln cam is now going to be the torch cam today. Yeah, I'm being a bit sloppy with this. You know, it's so funny, like you do something in front of a camera and all of a sudden you just absolutely suck at it. There we go, boop, boop, boop. These going. That's good. We do want to let these dry as well. You know, I'm going to, well, let me get these done. I'm going to put these, I know these aren't quite as exciting, but I always, when I'm starting fusing, this is a great way to get better at fusing, is to make a bunch of earrings. But I like to start with the smaller fused objects and the simpler fused objects, which is pretty much this stuff versus these things, because it kind of takes a minute or two to warm up, get the hang of the fusing. There we go. Two more. There's a lot of peach fuzz. It's because I used that tea towel, and the tea towel peach fuzzed on everything. Didn't think about it. Now, well, maybe Friday, because maybe I shouldn't make promises. There we go. Maybe on Friday, because Friday I'm going to be gone all next week, and I'm taking a bunch of stuff with me. I'm driving. I'm taking so many pieces of equipment, so I'm not really going to be streaming any enameling this Friday, but maybe we could do a little 3D modeling. Maybe. Oops, that's good. We'll see. I've got a lot. All right, so those are ready. I'm going to grab a thing, and I'm just going to go ahead and put these here, because I'm going to go prepping them for the fusing process. I like to just kind of set them on the edge so they're easy to grab, and I'm going to go put this entire tray under the heat lamp, because if we were to put the torch under these before this is fusing liquid is completely dry, it will, you know, it will explode with a little bit of bubbles and things might move around, which we don't want. That is not optimal. So I'm going to just put these here. How many do we have? Let's see, let me put them all here and then we'll count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Perfect. So I'm going to go put these under the heat lamp to dry, and while those are drying, we'll get a couple of these ready to go. And then we will start with the torch. Oh, definitely. Let's just put you here. There we go. Perfect. You guys get drying, and we'll get one or two of these fancier ones. I've made these earrings before, and I'm excited, and I went ahead and made a big, actually somebody had requested a pendant on Etsy, and I did a sketch and a design like this, and then she decided it was too expensive. But then I had already made this design, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and make them. Let me show you the quick sketch for these. They're gonna be super colorful. Oh, I put them over here. I've got piles of stuff. I haven't colored them all in, but you can see they're going to be nice, nice and colorful with all of the yellows and the purples, kind of similar to this piece, which I still have not ground and polished. It's going to be these really vivid colors in here, and it's going to be a little pendant. So that's what's happening over there. So, but that being said, let's get one or two of these pendants on here. Oh, did I close it? Here we go. And I'm going to zoom in here. There we go. Just gonna start. Yeah, it takes a while. And you know what? When I was doing some really elaborate things, sometimes I'll make a little shallow bowl and dip these in, but it's almost more work to try to, you put too much of this stuff on and you get so much reticulation. This one looks like a little coffin. I'm going to flip it over. Just kind of want to position it. There we go. That one looks good. We're going to do bucket. Let's get this one going too. I'm going to say probably 16, 17, 18. Just trying to decide how many pieces we want to make. There's just so many. I'm just not loving all the little fibers that got snagged on these pieces. All right, that is good. Oh, maybe a little bit more. These are going to be harder because I can see they're not perfect. The bigger pieces are more challenging for sure. Let me do this one. Does it going to fit? Yes, it's just a little bit more snug. There we go. That's good. We've got, I need another one of those trays. Really? Am I out? No, they're just hiding over here. How could you out? Let me just put these here. 1, 2. Let me do, these are going to be cute. I like these little guys. 1, 2. Let's do these 2, and then we'll call it a day for this part anyway. I'll get the rest of these fused afterwards, privately, as it were. So we'll do all the little easy ones first, and then these more challenging ones. I'm assuming that these will fit on here. Again, I should have spent a moment to make sure. Really? There we go. Probably Should have cut that off, but it'll be fine. Stick you over there. Last one. That's just so much. And super sloppy. Now we are ready. I'm going to go swap these out. I'm going to go put these under the lamp and go snag the ones I put on. And then we will go to the torch cam. I know I've torched on, have I torched on Twitch before? Maybe one time I've torched on Twitch. It is scary. I have trepidation, but if you can't fail in front of friends, who can you fail in front of? So we're going to, here's the ones we're going to fuse. So let's go over, to the kiln cam, which is currently the torch cam. All right, so I'm gonna set these over here. And let me quickly share with you what is going on here. Let me back up. You can see, you could definitely just use a tripod, but because I like to do, you can see these are just kiln bricks, and I've kind of just created a little, a grill. We're going to be grilling, and I've got, this is a nice, I have a nice little stack of them over here because we're going to kind of use them and get a fresh one with every batch, because this stuff tends to flake off the steel on top of your pieces after a few firings, and we don't want that. So we'll, I have a nice little stack of them, and we'll just kind of segue between, and then we don't have to worry about them being too hot or too dirty. So there is that. I'm not going to turn on the light because I think it's better to see what's going on. But, well, oh, I should have moved my, let me get you out of the way. There we go. We're going to come all the way down and look at let's look at the tank. Here's the acetylene tank that we're going to be using. Oop, there we go. And you can see I got my regulator. I have my instructions, you can't see, but I always have my, because you think it's so easy. There's only 3 steps, but trust me, I'm the kind of person that will forget a step. So we're going to start by turning the tank on, and I have it on is this way, and luckily I have it written on the tank. So we're going to turn it on. There we go. There we go. You can see we got a nice amount of gas there. And then we want this to be between 8 and 9. I'm going to tighten this one up. Really? It's a bit sticky sometimes. Come on, buddy. Come on. There we go. That should be enough. Oop. That's good. Perfect. So we're ready to go. Let's come back up here. See what's going on. This is a fan that pulls the fumes away. I'm not going to use it today because it's loud. And, here we go. So let me get a good viewing angle, and I'm going to zoom in. Oops. Let's go to the zoom. There we go. Let's even go a little higher. Can we go higher? Yes. A little higher. There we go. Just so you can see what's going on. So yeah, I have, this is just so much nicer because it gives me room to put a few pieces. So we've got, I'm using a number 1, oh here it is, number 1 torch tip here. And yeah, what else? Let's start with a few of these. I kind of like to do God, I'm super nervous about doing this in front of people. I'm gonna do 6 at a time. 6 at a time. And remember, this is fine silver. So if it doesn't get completely fused in the first go around, it's fine. You don't have to pickle it. You're just gonna cool it off. And I'm gonna say, not every piece is, especially the larger ones, you kind of get it tacked down, you flatten it, and then you come back and do this again. There's no rule that says you have to have it perfectly fused in the first go around. And so we've got that. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Oops. Ugh, never mind. Let me zoom. Hold on. I don't know what, oof. Zoom. Zoom in a little bit more. There we are. There we are. That should be good. Now, I've got a pick. Let me grab my pick. I say I have a pick. Oh, sorry, I steal the pick that's holding the Wi-Fi box up. So I have a pick, but honestly, I'm only ever torching or picking. I'm not doing them both at the same time. And it's a really long hose, so it's probably going to take a moment for it to turn on. So I kind of let it go. There we go. Oh, hold on. There we are. So what we want is a nice, see that nice sound? That's good. Magic spot is right about here, not this area. This is the spot you want it to be on. And you know what? Let's just get started. And I'm going to go back, left to right, back to front. And these are real small. They're going to go fast. I'm not going to do too much blabbing, but I might even turn off the overhead light. All right, you can see how they're turning red. That's good. There we go, right there. Hold on. Press it down. Come back. There we go. First one's always a pain in the butt. Perfect. There we go. Now we'll do this one. Am I wearing the right glasses? I am. Sometimes it's easier to see with the lights completely off in the room. Alright, so we got a little bit, so I pull it off the heat and I just give it a press. And then I come back, reheat it. There we go. Perfect, done. Move on to the next. There we go. And just pull this out, give you a little press. Come back. Oh, hold on. That one's being a pain. There it is. But again, if you really want to learn how to do this, I could show it's so much easier to teach you in person. So come to one of my workshops or subscribe to my Vimeo channel. go. Press it down, press it down, press it down. Perfect. More right there. There we go. Ooh, see how fast that went? Oh, see, I've tried. Let's see if we can, you know what, we're going to have to let you cool. Do you think we can bring you back? Can we do this without? Let's try it again. I'm feeling bold. I thought it was tacked down, but it wasn't. You can see where the reticulation is going to be on that one though, which is fine. Come on, buddy. There we are. Now it's tacked down. Now I'm going to press it. There we go. Perfect. Saved from the brink on that one. But that's why I don't touch it down until I know that it's... I don't start messing with it till it's at least tacked down, because you don't want it to shift. Easy for these little guys, but if it were a bigger piece, could have been more problematic. Oop. There we go. Come on out. A little bit more. There we are. Press you down. Make sure nothing. See, I'm not lingering anywhere though. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so there's 6 done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pick this up and go put it by my kiln to cool off. Luckily it's cool on the edges here. Not cool anywhere else. We'll look at everything after things have cooled. Once we got everything fused, we're going to have a look at everything and see if anyone needs another go around. So we got another one of these, and we're just going to... That first one was my favorite. You know, you have like a favorite of everything. All right, so we've got a nice one of those, nice and cool. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 and 5. That sounds... We're going to do these little guys. 3. I know, super exciting. But you know, the way to get good at it. Yeah, we're going to do 5 because there's a weird nub up there. So we'll do 5 here. And let's see, do we want to zoom in a little bit more? I don't know. All right, so let's do it. So I want to turn off the... Nah, that's fine. We got a nice flame. These are even a little smaller. They're going to go maybe even a little faster. These little guys. Well, these. God, my adrenaline is up. I mean, I'm good now that I've gotten a couple under my belt. I haven't melted one in 100 years. 10 years was the last time I accidentally melted one. But, you know, maybe I'm just... Never say never, you know. Come on. There we are. Boom. Now these are smaller, so they're going to go faster. And you'll see the big one takes a while when we get to that one. And with this size, these small ones, you don't necessarily need an acetylene torch. You could use one of those easy Orca torches with a propane canister for smaller pieces like this. I don't know why I'm blabbing. I'm going to shut up. Dun, dun, dun. I think it's impossible. There we are. Oop, got a lot. There we are. There we are, perfect. Oh, see, it's hard for me not to talk. I even talk when nobody's around. Maybe not out loud, though. Oh, that's perfect. I didn't even need to fuss with that one. Perfect. All right, we just have a few more to go. I'm gonna go put these by the kiln to cool down. Susan says, I'm listening. There we go. All right, these are over by the kiln doing chillaxin. Chillaxin is such a 2010 word. So next up, we got 5 more little ones and then 3, 4 bigger ones. This is a nice one. So let's start with these little shapes. These are the Baroque. I love these earrings. These are those Baroque. I haven't made them in a while, so I'm excited. Baroque style earrings. There we go. 1 and 2. Perfect. All right, let's do it. Oh. Hold on 1 second. Let's not set anything on fire. Oh yeah, this is a newer tray. It's very flaky. Long, skinny ones definitely curl up. Perfect. make sure that it's at least tacked down. There we are. Now we'll press it. Now heat it. Boom, yes. Next one. When you see that seam go, you get like a little thrill. And see that black stuff? Oh, hold on one second. These newer, I don't know if it's because I don't know, they're newer, they seem a lot flakier with the bits of steel. Just like everything, the quality is going down. There we are. Perfect. 2 more of these. Perfect. Some shapes just are like butter. There we are. Boom. Gonna go put these out, and we just have the big ones after this. Oh yes, Susan asked, what size is little? I only have access to, that is fine. If you have one of those little Orca easy torches, the earring size, small pendants, you'll be fine. I want to steal this one back because I liked this one the best. Get off there. There we go. And, you know, once with that, seriously, do you know Magda? Magda saw in Portugal, she only uses that little Orca torch. And she does like these kind of big pieces, you know, the size of your palm pieces. You know, if you're going to do that with that kind of a torch, you need to have like a more containment system. Like I've got, this is my friend Betty's cup. This is like a, you know, you can contain the heat with something like that. But, oh, I didn't clean this off. Hold on. But it would be harder with one of those little butane. I don't know that it would work with butane, but certainly, there we go. Now, do we want to do 2 at a time? Do we want to do... Oh, hey, Susan, are you coming to Porto? Sweet. That is excellent. And I have to practice. You know I'm not going to. I'm going to flub it. I have one of those little torches, and it definitely is harder. I'm not going to lie. It is harder to use a propane torch just because not quite as powerful. So it's like one more thing on my list to do before I go to Porto, but I'm going to be coming in like Saturday. I should be arriving like early in the morning on Saturday, so that should give me all Sunday to fool around and practice maybe. We'll see. So now these doodads. So let's do it. Oh yes, the jelly. I was looking at that jellyfish because I was rearranging that. I think I've got a photo of that jellyfish on my website in the classes section, or there was. I absolutely remember. All right. I'm going a little bit more oomph because they're bigger and they're going to take a significantly longer time. So buckle up, settle in, get comfortables. Feel like when it's this color, now I'm paying attention. See how it's glowing? This vivid. Oh, there we are, right there. We're gonna start there. That's good. All right, we're tacked down. I'm gonna press everything else down because it definitely curls right up. There we go. A lot to keep your eye on this one. There we go. I think it's good. One more time around. Perfect. Let's get the other one. Quite honestly, the ones with all these cutouts are easier than if there was no silver in the middle, like the other one. It's because it pulls the heat. It holds the heat better than just a tiny little rim. Alright, let me just give it a little scoochy scooch. Yeah, I was talking to my husband Warren when we were on our walk, telling him about how I was gonna use my arc welder to join these. I'm like, oh, and I'm just gonna use my arc welder to join these two things. And he's like, oh, you mean zooping? And I'm like, so apparently I use. He remembered that when you join things with the arc welder, it's called zooping. I was like, yes. A little bit more. I'm trying to get that. Oh, there we go. There we go. Perfect. You know, I say you can do twice, but I don't want to do it twice. I want it to be perfect the first time. Lovely. 2 more to go. I'm just going to go put these. We'll look at everything momentarily. All right, you guys hang out. 2 more. Well, and then all those other ones that I haven't done yet. But let's get. Where did I put my? Boom, boom, boom. Let's see, that one seems good. Last two. There we go. Angie, did the Prime subscription end? No, you have to renew it every month. It doesn't automatically renew. So with the Prime subscription, all the subscriptions on Twitch are all, unless you specifically subscribe for a certain number of months. You have to renew them every month, which is fair to smaller artists like me, because you know, a lot of people use their free subscription with somebody famous and then, you know, forget about it. So once a month they have to go in and maybe decide if their free subscription is going to go for that person or somebody else, blah, blah, blah. But this one's actually more challenging because there's nothing in the middle. You run the risk of putting a hole right in the middle of that piece. A little drop, a droplet. There we go, right there. See if we can just pull it. Swear to God. Oh, yes. Hold on. Gorgeous. Let me get the middle. Beautiful. Perfectly. It's like I've done this. Have I done this before? But I'm warmed up. I'm on fire. We'll see how they all look in a moment. There we go, there we go. Can we make this one good as well? Fuck yeah. Oh, pardon my language. Nice. Booyah. Alrighty. We are done. Oh, I have one more day left. Yes, as far as the logistics of all these things go, the subscriptions, honestly, I'm probably not the one to... The help center might be a better thing. We're going to let those cool. Let me go. We're going to switch back to the... Let's go back to the workbench. Hello. Remember, we're going to do those later. Let me go get our pieces, and we're going to see what we have. And we're going to see if anyone needs some more lovin'. And I'm going to, from the back, pull this out of the way. Let's make a pile. Let's get these off there. Make sure those are nice and cool. I'm going to assume that these are. They feel cool. Just have a look. There we go. Unstuck. And then these two. There we go. Now, oh, hold on. I forgot about the two that are on the tripod. Let me just grab this, because we're going to have, it's the moment of reckoning. And sorry, I'm fooling around over by the station. I'm just going to grab these last two, but I need to cool them down quickly. There we go. You are cool. And you are cool. There we are. Nice and cool. There's the last of them. So now, got my glasses. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little pile of the yays and the nays. The yays are totally done. Let me get these out of the way. And ready for the next step. And then there's going to be a few probably that might need one more go. And so I'm going to look at them like that. Oh, I'm going to look at them through my phone camera. And what I'm looking for is any gaps here. See how there's like, let's see. See how there's like a white, yeah, right here, this white line, that's what you want to see because it means it is sealed. It's a reflection of nothing, which is good. And this is perfectly fused. Gorgeous. Now, say you have one tiny little gap here. Maybe you don't have to worry about it, but maybe you do. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm just going to look. Perfect. Let's check these out. Let's have a look. It's hard to see. That's fine. Let's look at this big one, this honkin' thing. And I do need to make sure that, especially these pieces in here, we don't want them moving around. We want to make sure that those are fused down as well. And they, oh, this is, no offense, hold on. Patting myself on the back for that one. Gorgeous. Let's see this other one. Is it a 2 for 2? These big ones almost always take 2 goes. Let's see. Yeah, this looks good. Perfect. Perfect. Big ones, nice. Not too much reticulation. It doesn't really matter. Like this, yeah, there's like this. If I wasn't going to be putting foil down, I would have made sure this was melted too to make sure it's nice and shiny. But since I am putting foil down, it doesn't matter. Is this one? That's fine. Good. 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 It's fine. Let's see. Because that's fine. Good. Good. Was that just a piece of, oh yeah, that's just a piece of flotsam, not a gap. And also if at the tip or the top or the bottom of these long ones, if it's not, you really do, even if it's a little spot, you do want to go back and get it, but those are fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's look at this one again. Oh, crap. Gonna have to that one. That one needs to be done again. All right, let's just quickly go do it. And I'm irritable about it. I was thinking I was going to have a 100, like an unprecedented, first time ever, 100% success rate. But no, this little bastard. So let's go back to the kiln or whatever. And let's just, I'm just going to use this one, will be fine. You could put more, you know what, fine. I'll put a little touch of the fusing liquid on there. It doesn't, but only on the outside. And if it gets sucked into the middle, this is really more or less so I know. If I see that fusing liquid on the interior, I know I made the right choice of redoing it. And I don't have to let it dry because it's already 90%, 95% down. I mean, fused. So let's just get this little guy. You little. Yeah, no, I can see the gap. This one, yeah, whatever. There it is. Oh, there, I can see it's perfectly closed now. All right, that one is done. Perfect. Finito. Lovely. Now, all right, so that is done. Now the next step, we're just gonna do, we got to the ones that have most of these, with the exception of these. This one's going to have a bail soldered onto the back. So I don't have to do those, but I do need to drill out. These are the holes that the bails are going to go through, or the ear wire will go through. So I'm going to do that next. And you know what, maybe I'll just do one and we'll call it. I know it's a kind of a quickie, but you know, you get it. You get what you get here. There we go. Got a little bit of that. I want a piece of plastic or wood. It doesn't matter. And I want a size 52 drill bit. Size 52 drill bit. There we go. Now we're going to switch this out. Get you out of the way. Get our little baby drill bit in there. We go. And I like to put the wax in the hole. You know what, we'll just finish these two. There we go. Just feel like, let me zoom in a little bit. Got that is done, and then the easy peasy portion is all the ones that are easy, you know, this shape and this shape I will have to saw out because, you know, I need to be pretty precise. But all these other shapes, here, I am going to use my regular, these aren't even for metals, Fiskar shears. We'll cut 20 gauge fine silver sheet with no problem. And obviously I'll need to do a little filing, it's fine. There we go. Let's do one more. These will go into the scrap, the fine silver scrap heap. Boom. Nom nom nom. There we go. We'll do this one. Did that go? I just don't want it to end up on the floor, so I don't want to step on it. There we go. So, yes, there we have our bases. Now the next step that I'm going to do later, because we're going to wrap it up early today, and I'm going to walk over to my grinder and grind these edges. So they are, let's compare it to one of these that are ready to go. See how these edges are nice for the most part, nice and clean. We're going to do that with that. We're going to, oh, look at that pretty, I love, look at how you get that galvanized sparkle right there. We're going to get rid of that though. Enjoy it now because you're not going to see it at the end. Only on one side that you get that. So I'm going to sand the back and then we'll do a nice gentle dome. And then it will be ready to receive the enamels. So there you have it. Yeah, I mean, I know it's a bit of a quick day, but lots to do, lots to do. I'm going to come back to the selfie cam. There we go. So yes, I'm just going to continue this on my own, I think, because I kind of want to listen to some tunes. And maybe I'm going to be gone all next week because I'm going to the enamel retreat. I shall be retreating into the world of quiet enameling. It won't be quiet, but so I'm going to be gone all next week. So there's not going to be any streaming next week. And I may not be streaming this Friday because I got to kind of throw all of my tools into the car so I can drive over there on Saturday morning. So, but maybe. So thank you so much for joining me and have a great rest of your week, everybody. Take care.